Thank you, Marshall. Ooh, so, that went better than expected, actually. Hello and happy Friday. So I've just got back from the gym. I was in London today and then went directly to the gym after work and went and did 45 minutes on the treadmill, so around about 5 miles. Mostly easy, but I did a couple of like 2-minute pickups every 10 minutes or so, just to put a little bit of speed and avoid the monotony of just pounding on a treadmill. But yeah, that's fine. I did 5 miles in London yesterday as well, and I did 4 miles on the treadmill on Tuesday, I think it was. So it's 14 miles for the week. Plan is to do parkrun and then a longer run of some sort tomorrow morning. Haven't decided where yet. Tonbridge has been cancelled because it's flooded. If you saw the video last week, you'll have seen the lake on the field, but obviously that has now spread with the weather we've had this week, so it's flooded. So I might go down to Hastings and do an attack on it just to see where I'm at. It'll be 12 weeks away from Paris, so it'd be good to know fitness wise where I'm at the 5k, so I can kind of judge approximately where I think I may get to. It'll give me a steer anyway. So yeah, I might go to Hastings, I might not. So I'm just going to eat, quick change, and then I'm going around to see some friends and watch the Traitors with them. So yeah, all in all, fine. Knee feels all right. I feel a bit more positive than I did yesterday, and we will see what happens tomorrow. So Gareth from the future here. I realised that I've mentioned Thursday in the video a few times, but you haven't actually seen any footage from Thursday, and that's because when I recorded in London, I filmed a load of stuff, but I forgot to put the stabilisation on the camera, and therefore, unless you like watching YouTube videos from the perspective of being in a washing machine, then it wasn't really useful footage. But to summarise, basically, it wasn't a great run. And I was doubting myself, I was doubting my marathon goals, and I was really struggling kind of feel positive about it. So when I talk about being a bit despondent and talk about Thursday, that's what I mean. Good morning and happy Saturday from Hastings. So I am down at Hastings Parkrun this morning to do a bit of a time trial. So it is 12 weeks tomorrow to the Paris Marathon, and I don't really know where I'm at fitness-wise. So I've decided to come down to Hastings. It's flat, it's tarmacked, it's by the sea, but the conditions are pretty good today, just to give it a bit of an all-out send. Now, I would love to hit somewhere in the 19s this morning, but I just don't know. I've done no real speed work for the last, couple of months. So this may end up humbling me slightly. My plan actually is to run naked. Of course, that means just not running with my watch data. But unfortunately, there are paces this morning. So I'll sort of know where I sit based on where the paces are, assuming they're doing their jobs. The reason I wanted to kind of run with that watch data was because I feel like my heart rate's just going to give me a shock. And I really want to try and run an effort and run on feel and not run a heart rate this morning. So I am still not going to have my watch data on. I'm obviously going to start it at the start, but then I'll turn the splits off, etc. But yeah, ideally, I would like to be able to run under 20 minutes this morning. But who knows? As I said, it has been a little while. So it's about 20 to 9. I'm just going to go and do a little warm up. I'm wearing my carbons. So I've got my Metaspeed Sky Paris on this morning, which I've not worn for a little while, because I wore the Metaspeed Ray for Chicago and for Brighton. So these haven't had a run out in a while. But yeah, I'm going to give it a good go. I genuinely don't know where I'm at. It will be really interesting to see. My PB here is 17:59, which I did basically this time last year. I know I'm nowhere near that shape, but I guess let's see what sort of shape I'm in.
Parkrunners, are you ready? Let's go!
So away we go, and I have started a little bit further back than I would have liked. On the previous occasions when I've tried to attack Hastings parkrun, I've definitely started a bit further forwards, and as you can see, I'm really having to weave in and out to try and get myself into sort of a comfortable position and with similar paces to what I'm expecting to run myself. So the plan or the aim for today is, like I said, to try and run sub-20. I'm going to try and go out for the first half. Oh, just checking that the camera's working. I'm going to aim for the first half to run reasonably steadily and within myself, with the hope that I feel good at halfway and that I can kick on for the last couple of kilometres. So this first sort of 400-500 metres is just about settling into an initial rhythm and trying to find a pack of runners that I can run with for the rest of the parkrun.
Thank you, Marshall.
So I've now found the initial rhythm and I'm just trying to latch myself onto this group in front. I'm running around about sort of 352 to 353 per K pace, and as you can see I go through the first kilometre in 353. Obviously my watch data is not visible to me, so I've just got it on time screen, so I'm not aware of the splits or the pace that I'm running, but this all feels pretty comfortable at the moment. Conditions are good, like I said earlier, there's no real wind, which can be a problem at Hastings, and so there's no rain either. So yeah, so far feeling pretty good, just trying to get up to this group in front so I can run with them, and then we'll see where we go from there. So here we go, I'm just approaching that second kilometre and I go through that again in another 353, so I am bang on that sub-20 pace, if not a little bit ahead at this point. I do feel like I'm just starting to reel this group in front, and Pink Top is just dropping off the pace ever so slightly. The other thing to note at the moment is you can see that my heart rate is already up at 180, 181, and that's one of the reasons I did not want to have my stats on my watch, because I think that would have alarmed me, and I think psychologically that would have got in my head and maybe forced me to ease off the pace a bit. But actually, I'm feeling pretty comfortable and I wanted to run this on effort.
Thanks, Marshall. Okay, so halfway. Don't know my time, but I'm in about 10th place, and I'm there or thereabouts, I think.
So, as I said at the beginning, if I got to halfway and felt good, then I would try and up the ante and just kick on slightly. And as you can see, that pace is just dropped to sort of between 345 and 350 per K as I go past the guy in the 100 parkrun t-shirt, and just aim to try and form a little group with these two chaps ahead. I'm still feeling good, and whilst I can see that the heart rate has increased again, I still feel in control and I've definitely got more to give. So, as you can see, I go through the third kilometre in 3:51, a slight increase in pace from the 3:53s of the previous 2 kilometres, but my pace has slowed again a little to sort of 3:53, 3:54 pace. I had a bit of back and forth with these two guys coming through on the right. I did briefly overtake them, but then I've just decided to drop back and sit in behind them and try and work with them for a little bit longer, as 2 kilometres is still quite a long way to go it alone, and although there's not a massive headwind, there is definitely some wind that will slow me down. The pace feels pretty sustainable, I'm not pushing it too hard, and I've definitely got stuff left in the tank for later on. So 3.7k, 1.3 to go, and I'm feeling good, and now I feel like this is the time to make a move. I've been sat with these guys probably for the last kilometre, but I know that once I get to this building up ahead, that it's basically downhill and then you can see the finish. So as I approach this, I start thinking about making a move, kicking on, and trying to get past these two guys. So as I approach the 4k mark, you can see I've just slightly increased that pace into the high 340s per k. The last kilometre is all along the seafront, it's flat, you can see the finish once you get about 800 metres from it, and now I feel like I've got enough left into the tank that I can start kicking on, and I'll start moving into those low 340s and try and sustain that along this front.
Now this is the horrible bit, where you think you can see the end, but you can't.
So with 400 metres to go, I start just moving up the gears slightly. I've got this chap in the green top in my sights and I'm aiming to go past him. The pace at the moment is 3:44, but I do gradually increase that down into the low 340s, into the high 330s as we get closer to the finish line. And let's see how we get on. So we are into the final 100 metres now, and as you can see, that pace is dropping. 3:26, 3:25. What am I going to finish in? So I finished with a final kilometre of a 3:40, and whilst I know I've definitely gone under 20 minutes, how far under have I actually gone?
Thanks. It's forced, I assure you. P10. So I was probably a couple behind at halfway. Ooh, so that went better than expected, actually. So I ended up running, I reckon, by my watch, 19:01, but I did start it maybe a second early, and I stopped it maybe a second late. So I'll be there or thereabouts around 19, which, given the fact that I wanted sub-20, is great. I'm looking forward to seeing my stats. As I said, I didn't have my watch on, however I did forget to turn my splits off. Although I missed the first split, so I only got mile 2 and mile 3. And so I knew that broadly I was on a reasonable pace. But yeah, really pleased with that. So pretty much bang on 19, gives me quite a lot of confidence. So I'm now going to go and do some top-up miles with one of my Harrier friends, actually, Ali. She's come down and run it as well. You might have seen a wave to me, waved on the video. So I think we're just going to do, I don't know, we'll see how it feels, 7 or 8 miles probably, just to top up, maybe a little bit longer, and then head back to Tunbridge Wells. So yeah, as I said, really pleased with that. Didn't check my watch, so I didn't see my heart rate, which I'm pleased about. Basically managed to work my way through the pack towards the back end of the race because I was feeling strong. After all the doom and gloom on Thursday, I think it was, that's actually given me a lot more encouragement. So there we go. Running, funny old sport, isn't it? Good morning and happy Sunday. So I am just out on my not Sunday long run because we have got a long car journey coming up late this morning. So I'm actually only going to be out for 4 or 5 miles this morning. I kind of did my longest run yesterday after parkrun, so topped up and did just shy of 11 miles in total. So yeah, just basically getting out. Legs feel all right this morning, which is good, but I am just going to take it quite easy, quite steadily, because I feel like I took quite a lot out of myself yesterday. The great news is I actually ran 18:59 at parkrun, so it was even better than I thought. So the fact that I wanted to get a 19 in front of it, I got an 18. So yeah, happy days. So there we go, almost 5 miles done. I'm just running back into my estate now. I did actually manage to stay easy for the entire run today. I have definitely been guilty of the cardinal sin of easy running, which has been going too fast over the last couple of months. I think because basically I thought my fitness was where it at when I was running easy before Chicago, and it's not been. My heart rate's been zone 3, zone 4 when it should have been zone 2, but I've kept it almost exclusively in zone 2 today to manage my pace. So that's good. So 5 miles done. The week, same as the last few weeks, really. Not enough volume, not enough consistency. Everything I've talked about in my how to get better at marathons, I'm not doing myself at the moment, but fingers crossed I can avoid any more niggles or injuries. Yeah, 12 weeks to Paris today, and it's about 50k for the week. So not enough, but got to stay optimistic.
So there we go, that is the end of this week's video, but stay tuned for next week's video when I'm going to be running my first race of 2026, which is the Canterbury 10-mile race. It's a race I've done in the last couple of years, but it's a new course. I think it's meant to be a little bit flatter. So yeah, my first race of the year, and stay tuned because I will be filming it for your viewing pleasure.